And good morning. Well, iffy morning, if I'm honest with you. Woke up with a headache. I think I slept in a weird position. I got tension in my neck and shoulders. Took some painkillers. Still can't quite shake it. Gonna take some more before I hit the road. They did not fix the hot water at the caravan park, so cold shower again. Like, I'm clean, but I'm unhappy about it. I don't know how desperate I am for a hot shower. I might get desperate enough to book a single night stay at the local Ballarat caravan park, just so I can have access to a hot shower, because it really is just a remarkable psychological thing to once a week just have a couple of mornings where I can have a hot shower. And I'm grouchy about missing out on that. Might just be the headache though. Oh, a hot shower would have helped with that too, loosen up the muscles, you know what I mean? Whatever. So back on the road this morning at some point. I've still got a few hours before I have to check out. I've been pulling everything out and back into the back of the van because everything was getting kind of cluttered and difficult to move around, and nothing was sorted the way it was sorted, just the way mess accumulates, or the way mess accumulates when you are me and my brain. So everything's cleaned up and as tidy and as compact as it practically can be in the back here, which feels pretty good. You may have noticed I'm wearing my I need to do laundry shirt. So that's a task for today. I need to do a big load of laundry. House hunting this week. I do have one inspection already for Wednesday. I think that's one of the decent places as well, like sort of middle of the road budget, fairly decent looking. Hopefully it's good. 4 applications are still active. One of them is about 9 or 10 days old at this point, so I'm expecting pretty soon to hear a rejection on that one, if they bother notifying you at all, because they haven't on all of them. There is another place listed, but it doesn't have an inspection date yet, so hopefully I hear back about that and it's sometime this week. And new places might pop up later on this morning too, because it is Monday morning, so we'll see what happens. I did I felt closer to my old self yesterday when I was just sitting there pottering around in Fallout 76 for an entire Sunday, because that used to be every Sunday. Well, it was some game, usually every Sunday, often 76, and also Monster Hunter Wilds, of course, which sometime today there's some sort of presentation that Capcom are doing, but I don't know whether they put up the Japanese date and time or the American date and time when I saw it, because obviously it's a date line apart. If it's the Japanese one, it'll happen sometime today, I think, probably sometime this morning, if not tomorrow. But they'll be doing a big presentation about Title Update 4, which, I mean, if you care about Monster Hunter, I don't have to tell you, because you're probably on top of the news. But yeah, looking forward to finding out about that, because I have enjoyed, in the last couple of weekends, being able to finally dive into the last 3 months of content that has been building up, at least the ones that were permanent, because obviously some of the event stuff is there and it's gone and they take it away from you. So I've missed out on a lot of interesting armor pieces and stuff. They'll eventually roll back around at some point, but for now, a bit of FOMO there. But at least, I got to try out the new difficult monsters and the 9-star, 5-star kind of crap and things like that. And I was having a lot of fun doing that as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to try a little bit harder to get that squeeze gaming back into regularity somehow, because it does give me a very welcome sense of normalcy, because I have missed it very much since I started living out of this van, looking for a new place to live in another city, etc. At some point, I even considered buying a dedicated power station just for gaming. So, charge that up at the same time I charge up the other one that I use for my devices and, the laptop and, work essential stuff. But if I had a secondary one, I could charge it up at the same time of the weekends and then just use it for gaming. And then when it's flat during the week, it's flat. Maybe I can figure out exactly how long it's going to last and schedule out, kind of ration the dedicated gaming power. But that's a frankly silly idea, because that's money. that's a few $100s that don't need to be spent. But it was just an idea that floated past my head. I don't even know if I've got space to put another power station, quite honestly, because we're pretty packed back here. Like there's no gaps where I could jam it in. I don't know. Anyway, I think I babbled long enough this morning. I'm going to continue tidying up the van. There's a bunch of crap in the passenger sheet side, the passenger seaside that I've got to clean up, and yeah, then I'll hit the road, and then laundry. Isn't that exciting? It's laundry day. Laundry. All right, that was a very pleasant drive for the most part. Did get stuck behind someone who insisted on traveling at 15 kilometers an hour below any posted speed limit, no matter what it was we drove through. That was a little frustrating, but did remember to take the alternate route, which meant I got the nice smooth roads and pleasant views and stuff. So very much enjoyed that drive down. But now I am hungry, so food, then laundromat, then whatever. And I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. But the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack makes a brilliant soundtrack to drive to. Alrighty, laundry is done, and in a weird coincidence, I got an email from a real estate agent saying, hey, we've checked your application, we've processed it, we've checked your references, and we're sending it off to the owner for approval. I should hear back within 24 hours, although their availability may stretch that a bit, but we hope to get it back to you within 24 hours. So by this time tomorrow, maybe I'll be just signing a lease, or preparing to sign a lease at the very least. The coincidental part is, like, the last time this happened, the last time I got a message that raised my hopes about getting through to the next stage of applications, instead of just being rejected out at the real estate stage before it got to the owners. Last time I went to I think the term they used last time was shortlisted, but that was a different real estate agent, so different terminology, I suppose. But yeah, last time I was shortlisted for a place was this exact time 3 weeks ago, Monday morning, doing my laundry after a caravan, stay. So I don't know. Is doing my laundry a lucky charm? Maybe I should just, come every day and wash a t-shirt, just for luck. How paranoid and superstitious do we want to get about this? I don't know. I'm not getting my hopes up this time. I'm just not, because I've got no idea whether the real estate agent have selected me and said, hey, owner, how about this guy? Or the real estate agent have selected me and 5 other people and said, hey, owner, so why don't you choose one of these? So I don't know how any of that works. So yeah, I'm gonna treat this unlike I did last time when I got, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm just gonna get crushed. But then I got my hopes up anyway, and then I got crushed. So yeah, this time I'm just like, sometime tomorrow I'm going to be told that, sorry, we weren't selected at this time, but please feel free to keep applying to places, blah, blah, blah. Worth mentioning, though, that, getting to this stage, at the very least, it might indicate that the recent changes I've been fiddling with on my applications, changing the way stuff is worded and changing how stuff is arranged, and adding a written reference from someone who also works in real estate, one of my mates. Again, he works in commercial real estate, so he can't really help me, and not even in this state. So the point is, I know maybe real estate agents respect other real estate agents. They don't seem to respect regular people much, because they don't return emails. So yeah, at the very least, I'm gonna take it as a sign that you know, the adjustments I've been making to how I apply are having a positive impact. Shrug. That's the most optimistic I can possibly be at the moment, quite frankly. As of yet, no new places have been listed. Although historically they tend to be listed at the end of the day, I've noticed. So maybe by this afternoon there'll be some other places to possibly register for inspections and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, if you feel like being more optimistic than me, please wish me luck. I'm probably going to need it. But that is pretty much everything I needed to do today done. I'm barely halfway, not even noon yet. So what I'm going to do now is, I think I might go down to one of my favorite little places to park in the shade, down by the lake, and just chill for a bit. Because yeah, the headache is still, it's reduced, but it's still hanging on. So I'm going to chill, try and stretch, I tried to crack my back in the laundry. I nearly got there. There's just a little bit in the back of my spine that I can't get, it feels like it wants to crack, but I want to, yeah. Anyway, enough about my crack. Well then, the hand of fate giveth and the hand of fate taketh away. If you believe in fate, or perhaps just coincidences. The single inspection that I had lined up for this week has just been cancelled. No reason given, just cancelled. And I've switched over to doing that thing that I talked about last week, where they've got a virtual inspection, sort of some 3D scan they've done with a piece of shit camera, and some inept intern at the real estate agent has slapped up on the website. They suck. They just suck. They're not useful tools for any kind of reasonable inspection. So yeah, now they're asking you to apply, be approved and shortlisted, then they will allow you to inspect. It's such a crappy thing to do. So yeah, I'm just going to wait for that one, because every time I've seen this done, sooner or later they give up and then do real inspections, because nobody wants to do this. Like it's really just hyper anti-consumer bullshit, not letting people see the property with their own eyes to figure out whether it's worth their time giving their personal information to these real estate agents and to these landlords for approval. It's just crap. It's just crap. So this week is now wide open. I have nothing, not a single inspection as it stands. It is only Monday. It's Monday afternoon, and maybe a few things will pop up this evening. Like I said, normally about 5 or 6. I've seen them pop onto the sites. But yeah, as it stands right now, nothing. So that's not encouraging. And again, I refuse to allow myself to hope for the one I'm, that's currently with the owner. So yeah, it might be a tricky week keeping the morale up, I think. So yeah, the day is drawing to a close, and that's all I've got for you. Not much of a day. Tomorrow's going to be even less of a day because I don't have any laundry to do. In any case, thank you to everyone who's thrown support my way in all of the forms: PayPal, Patreon, Super Chat, thumbs on the video, comments down below. Yeah, we're crawling up on the 100th episode of this vlog, and I don't know if I want to go beyond that. Just once you get to triple digits, it's starting to become really depressing. So I don't know whether I'm going to keep going or change the way I approach things, or just try a different style of content that I can make while on the go. I don't know. All I know is I really hoped it wouldn't take this long. And who knows how much longer it'll take, because we are reaching the end of the year, and sooner or later, no one's going to be doing inspections and lease signings and crap over Christmas and New Year's, surely. I don't know what happens there, but shrug. Anyway, let's find out what happens tomorrow. Bye.